Hi, it's Nell, and nothing says, welcome to my house. So glad to see you. Come on in, like 2 pots of dead petunias. So, it's hard to believe that I've been gardening since I was 5, and I'm a garden blogger when you look at these. I've been dying to change them over, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, so stick around. So I have pentas, which are the ones right there. They are butterfly magnets, and then some of the annual vinca and some more of that over there. And these do well, obviously, in the summer in the hot desert climates, which is why I'm planting them here in Tucson. So yes, I was a professional gardener, and I did large-scale retail flower shows, which is hard to tell from those pots. I came back from San Francisco, and they were both like kaput. It's really strange because I'm used to petunias being warm weather annuals, and here they're cool weather annuals. So they were left behind by the previous owner, and they had been planted in the fall, I guess, and all of a sudden they just went. So I'm dying to get some flowers planted. I have the smaller of the 2 bowls here, all cleaned out and ready to go. Even though the bowls are on either side of the entrance, they don't match in style or size, but that doesn't bother me. So in this smaller one, I'm going to use 3 plants, and in the larger one, I'm going to use 4, just because. Now, I wasn't sure how long the soil had been in this pot, so I completely removed it. If I have planted a pot, say in the fall, and I'm replanting it in the summertime, then I'll just refresh some of the mix and the compost, but this I wasn't quite sure, so I'm going with a whole clean slate. So because I'm here in Tucson, it's really hot. It's July. I think the temperatures were like 104 today. I'm going to use a mix that holds a little bit more. You're used to me saying succulent mix, light, fast, drain. I'm going to use some succulent mix. I'm going to use planting mix, which is a whole different beast. It holds more moisture. It has more in it. It tends to be a richer mix, much richer mix. I'm also going to use a local organic compost and worm compost. That is my mix. And I'm going to put a little bit extra of that compost in there because I really want the moisture to be held. So I used roughly probably 4 parts planting mix to 1 part cactus mix to 1 part compost. And that's in halfway. The worm compost will go in towards the end. And what I do is I just squeeze them out of the pots gently, firmly but gently. And voila. These are good and rooted in. I got these at Green Things Nursery here in Tucson, and they grow most of their color and the majority of their color here, which I think is good. That's the way it's acclimated to this somewhat, shall we say, intense summer climate. And I want them to angle out just a little bit, just so they grow slightly away from each other. And the penta should grow a little bit taller than these, but they're already a good size. And I can't wait to see the butterflies that come to this plant. All right, so I topped it off with the planting mix and a bit of the compost, and I watered it in again. And now I'm going to sprinkle on the worm castings on the top, around and through. You don't want to use too many of them because they're pretty strong, so you don't want to burn the plant. The same with compost. And the mix you use depends on where you are. As I said, I'm using the planting mix because I want it to hold more water in this case. If you're somewhere where it rains a lot, then potting soil and some organic compost mixed in will be just fine. You don't have to worry about the planting mix. I say the less I have to water, I'm probably going to have to water these every day or every other day as it is because they're in the sun and it's so warm. So there we go. So I'm going to put it in spot, water it again, And then in about 2 or 3 days, or maybe even a week after it's settled down some more, I'm going to top it off with compost. And what that compost is going to do, it's going to help to furtherly hold the moisture into these pots because they're terracotta. And it also means that the plants and the pots get hot too. And the other pot is not only larger and heavier, but it also has feet, which means it weighs even more. So I'm going to do that one in on the location. On the location, which is just about 15 feet away. And then I will show you them both when I am all done. Ah, so much better now. Mama is so much happier because you know why? Flowers make me smile. I just love seeing them. And I chose these colors because they're stronger colors and they stand up well in the very intense sun here. And there's a hedge of oleander right over there that you can't see, which is just about this color. And these colors go well with the bougainvillea, so I like them. And then I did a little something different over here because the pots are different just for a little interest. We'll see if anybody notices. And you know how I normally say, oh, I don't use fertilizers, I usually use compost. That's because you haven't seen me do that much with flowers and flowering plants, but these plants, for instance, usually get planted about the end of April and they bloom through October and they're just blooming nonstop. So they use a lot of energy and they need fertilizer. And normally I would have used a fertilizer, but I didn't have any. So I used the compost and the worm castings because these are only going to be in for a few months until I change it over to the winter color. But I will get some fertilizer then. And the brands I like are Happy Frog, American Pride, Dr. Earth, and E.B. Stone. And I will leave the links to all those in the blog post, along with some information about the planting mixes too, in case you want to see more about that. So I can't wait until these fill in, which should just be in about a few weeks because things grow so fast here in this heat, and I can't wait to plant more color. So I hope you found this to be helpful, and I thank you so much for watching as always. Thank you for your likes and your comments and your subscribes. I appreciate them. And oh, this just makes my garden even better. It's getting better. I'm slowly starting to do things on it. And speaking of gardening, let's get out in the garden and make the world a more beautiful place. Until next time, come on back. I have a lot more videos for you. Bye.